We want to teach you how to flip a house in 60 days. First step is right after closing, come up with a plan. You have to stick with the plan. To show you why I picked what I did, because it's basically the most cost-effective and fastest way to get this house back on the market. In a very desirable neighborhood, these houses sell for in the mid-5s somewhere. I paid $390,000 for this house. So with closing costs right now, I am at $400,000. I don't have a big budget. I want to show you how to flip a house this size and this magnitude on a small budget. I got to be honest, it's pretty hard for me to do. Really, on the outside of this house, there's not much that's needed. Some power wash, some landscape. That's all we're doing on the outside of the house. Let's go in, I'll show you. What's nice is when you walk into this house, there's 2 living rooms. For me, selling point is people need to see that there's room to grow, right? This is basically a starter home. The new first-time home buyer in Marlton is this house. You have a great living room, nice dining room, windows are newer. Now, kitchen. They did some flooring, but they did a really shitty job installing it. I'm going to rip the flooring out. I'm going to rip the kitchen out. When you look at this, this is a small kitchen. This is not a big kitchen. It's not going to be expensive. This kitchen with appliances will probably cost me about $10,000 all in. And that's for cabinets, countertops, install, maybe 12 total. But to have something new, that's what people want. Now you have your second living room back here. Then you have a screened-in porch, another add-on bonus. When you come out here, you have a nice screened-in porch, which all we're going to do with this is clean this up, power wash it, and relist it. Then through there, you have your mud room. What's nice is the heating and air is newer. The hot water heater's newer. Now, we're not replacing any of the mechanicals. We are not moving any plumbing, which means I do not need permits for anything that I'm doing in this house. We are not running hi-hats. We're not adding anything. We're replacing what's here. The kitchen will go right back to where it's at. I don't know why they would have a ceiling fan in their kitchen, but we will replace this. I may actually take this out and move this over there and put some cabinets right here. I think that would look nice with an overhang, so it looks like there's an island. I think people will like that. Bathroom's really nice. Bathroom we're not changing. This is where I am up in the air with what to do. When this house was originally built, they had 2 options. They could make this a 4-bedroom with smaller rooms, or they can turn this into a 3-bed with a bigger master suite. They opted on a 3-bed. This should have been another bedroom. That should have been the master. Instead, they made this like living space for the master. If I would have gotten this cheaper, if I would have bought this amount $40,000 cheaper, I would have then got architect drawings, reframed this as a second bathroom, and made a master bathroom and closet. But just doing that alone would have added probably about another $40,000 to $50,000 in budget. Not 50, probably 40. By the time I get an architect drawing, submit the permits, have someone come in and frame it, have the plumber come in, we would have had to take down all the sheetrock below so we could add plumbing. Instead, I'm just going to leave it the way it is. And so it has 1 full bathroom. It is a Jack and Jill bathroom, so you can use it from the master plus the hallway. I'm just going to redo what's here. And again, that's maybe a decision I might regret down the line if this house doesn't sell, but it's a decision I have to live with. This is just one example. A 60-day flip starts with a plan that you have to stick with from day one. When you walk it originally, when you're putting in that offer, you need to have your brain already thinking what the goal is. If you get this house, what are you going to do? Let's say you win the offer, you get the house. What I would do is try to get back in that house before closing, measure the windows, get your material together, and get your plan together. If you're adding walls, if you're framing, you need architect drawings, try to get your architect in here before closing. Having as much done as you can, so by the time you close, that first week, you're ready to roll. So in that first week, you should be demoing, the roof should be done, architect drawings, or game plan ready to go permits in. Had to have had your plumber out there to look at it, your HVAC guy, your electrician. Your permits have to be in that first week. You need to give that township at least 2 weeks. If you only have 8 weeks to get this done and your permits are sitting for 2, by the time the permits come back, you have the house demoed, you have all the material here, you have the roof done already, you have the landscape done. Now you get the permits, now you're ready to go. Now you get your plumber in here, you get your electrician and your HVAC all in the same week. You don't have that luxury of letting one guy in at a time. You have to start right away. And then you also need your framer in before that if you're framing anything. If you're like a house like this, there's no framing, so you don't need a framer. I don't need an HVAC guy. I need a plumber just to hook the fixtures back up. I need an electrician to do a swap out of outlets and lighting. So for me, this is technically a 30-day flip. I can have this house done in 30 days. But the goal is to have as much done as you can up front. People always say to me, oh, how you doing a house in 60 days? You can't be doing it right. Oh, you can flip a house in 60 days if you don't have permits. That's not true. You can do a house in 60 days. You just need to have your game plan down and you need to stick with it. I've noticed that a lot of flippers are unsure with what to do. They go in, they're not sure whether to rip the kitchen out. They're not sure whether to, they don't have a definite plan. Like it takes them a few weeks to develop the plan. If that's the case, that's fine. But you're not flipping that house in 60 days. It's going to take you 4 months to do the house, 5 months, if you're going to go in and change your mind and not have a game plan from the beginning.